Have you ever been through a really bad breakup, or maybe got left out by your friends, and you felt this actual ache in your chest? It's a feeling we all know. We call it heartbreak. But is that just a dramatic word we use, or is there something real, something physical going on inside us? Well, today we're going to dive into the incredible science of why social pain hurts so much. To give a sense of just how deep this stuff goes, you really don't have to look any further than this classic line from Jerry Seinfeld. And it's hilarious, right? But it's funny because it hits on this profound truth. We are absolutely terrified of being judged by other people. That fear of rejection can feel more real, more immediate than even the idea of death. It's a huge clue that our need for social connection is wired into our most basic primal survival instinct.
So that brings us right to the heart of the question. When we talk about having our feelings hurt or having a broken heart, are we just being poetic? Or is our brain actually processing that rejection in a way that's shockingly similar to a physical injury? Well, the answer is pretty amazing, and it's going to change the way you think about emotional pain.
Now, the very first clue to solving this mystery isn't found in a high-tech brain scanner or a lab. Nope, it's hidden in plain sight, in the words we use every single day. Just think about it for a second. We say things like, "That comment really stung," or "I have a broken heart." We literally use the vocabulary of physical pain to describe our emotional experiences. And here's the really wild part. This isn't just an English thing. Scientists have found that in dozens of languages all around the world, people instinctively do the same thing. That global pattern is a massive hint that deep down, our brains might not see much of a difference between a broken bone and a broken bond. Okay, so why? Why would our brains basically get these two things, a physical injury and social rejection, confused? To answer that, we have to travel way back in our evolutionary past. For our ancient ancestors, being part of a group wasn't just a nice to have. It was literally the difference between life and death. Your tribe gave you food. They protected you from predators. They helped you find a mate. Getting kicked out of the group wasn't just embarrassing. It was a death sentence. Social connection was a biological need, right up there with food, water, and shelter. So evolution had a puzzle to solve. How do you make sure humans take threats to their social standing just as seriously as, say, a tiger trying to eat them? Well, the solution was both brilliant and efficient. The brain already had this fantastic ready-made alarm system for physical threats. Pain. It screams, "Pay attention, something is wrong." So instead of inventing a whole new system from scratch, evolution just piggybacked. It wired the new social pain system right on top of the old physical pain circuitry. And the result? Getting rejected by your group now triggers the same urgent life-or-death alarm bells as getting physically injured. Now that evolutionary story makes a lot of sense, but can we actually see this happening? Can we peek inside the brain and find the proof? Oh yeah, we can. Let's look at the neuroscience. Okay, I want you to meet the star of our show here. It's called the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex, or DACC for short. This little bit of the brain is a major player in what scientists call the pain matrix. The easiest way to think about the DACC is as the brain's fire alarm. It's the part that creates that awful, distressing feeling of pain that makes you pay attention, whether the problem is a stubbed toe or a social snub. So to see if this fire alarm goes off for social pain, researchers designed this incredibly clever and, let's be honest, kind of mean experiment. They put people inside an fMRI brain scanner and had them play a simple virtual game of catch with two other players. But here's the twist. The other two players were just a computer program. And after a little while, the program was set to just stop throwing the ball to the real person, completely shutting them out of the game. And here it is, the smoking gun. These are the brain scans from that study. On the left, you see the brain activity when someone was being excluded in that cyberball game. On the right, you see the brain's response to physical pain. Just look at the highlighted areas. It's the exact same region, that DACC, the brain's alarm system, lighting up like a Christmas tree in both situations. The proof is right there. To your brain, the distress of being left out looks an awful lot like the distress of being physically hurt. But wait, it gets even wilder. Another study took people who were going through a painful, unwanted breakup. They put them in a scanner and showed them a picture of their ex. And what happened in their brains was mind-blowing. Not only did the DACC, the emotional alarm bell, go off, but so did the parts of the brain that process the physical sensation of pain, the part that tells your body where you hurt and how much it hurts. This means that a severe heartbreak doesn't just feel like pain. In a very real way, to your brain, it is pain. So this amazing, mind-bending overlap between social and physical pain leads to a question that honestly sounds like something out of science fiction. I mean, think about it. If it's the same wiring, if it's the same alarm system, could a medicine you take for a headache
actually help heal a heartache? Could you pop a Tylenol to soothe your hurt feelings?
Incredibly, research now suggests that the answer is yes.
So here's how they figured this out. In a landmark study, scientists had one group of people take acetaminophen, that's the main ingredient in Tylenol, every day for 3 weeks. Another group just took a sugar pill. And every night, everyone wrote down how much their feelings had been hurt that day. The results were just astonishing. The people taking the actual painkiller reported feeling significantly less social pain over time. And when they put them back in the fMRI scanner, they saw why. The Tylenol was literally turning down the volume on the DACC, the brain's pain alarm, in response to social rejection.
So what's the bottom line here? What does all this neuroscience mean for us just trying to get through our lives, dealing with arguments and breakups and feeling left out?
Well, for starters, this science validates what you've always known deep down. That ache you feel when you've been rejected, that sting of criticism, it is not all in your head. It's not you being overly dramatic or too sensitive. It's a real, measurable biological event. It's an ancient survival mechanism screaming for your attention. Your pain is real.
And if the pain is real, then we need real ways to heal it. This science actually gives us a roadmap. First, just acknowledge the feeling. Let yourself know it's a legitimate response. And since it's tied to our physical body, use your body to help. Exercise is huge. It releases endorphins, which are basically your body's own natural painkillers. Things like meditation can help calm that overactive alarm system. Talking to people you trust reinforces the very social connection your brain is craving. And yeah, limiting triggers, like stop looking at your ex's Instagram, gives your brain the space it needs to rewire itself and heal.
And so, all of this leaves us with one last, really important thought. If we know that the pain of being excluded is registered in the brain in the same way as a physical injury, if our words and our actions can literally cause a biological hurt in someone else, what does that change about how we treat each other? It kind of suggests that being kind, being inclusive, well, maybe those aren't just nice things to do. Maybe they're fundamental to our health and well-being.